Hey guys, before I start, I just want to give you something to think about. First, think of the beach. Imagine you pick up a handful of sand and just let that sand trickle through your fingers back down onto the beach. Now, I want you to think of the night sky. What you're seeing when you look at the stars is the Milky Way galaxy, our Milky Way galaxy. If you've ever been somewhere with little light pollution, then you know just how vast our galaxy is. Well, what if I told you that there are more stars in our galaxy than there are grains of sand on Earth? According to famous astronomer Carl Sagan's 1980 bestseller Cosmos, there are, and that's not all. More recent studies by astronomers have predicted that there may be roughly 10,000 stars for each grain of sand on Earth, according to an article on the Oklahoman.com. Now, that number may differ a little bit depending on what source you use, but I think you get the point. Our galaxy is very, very big. But it doesn't stop there. In the observable universe, there are at least 2 trillion galaxies, some bigger than our own, according to a 2016 article from the New York Times, very aptly named 2 trillion galaxies at the very least. Now, with a universe so vast, and with us being such an insignificant part of that universe, how could we say with any certainty that we are the only life in the universe? Now, before I continue, I'd like to point out that I'm no expert. I've been fascinated with space for as long as I can remember, and I always wanted to be an astronaut when I was a child. But everything I tell you is based on research done by people much more qualified than myself. Anyway, according to another article by the New York Times titled, "Are We Alone in the Universe?" there could be as many as 40 billion habitable planets in our galaxy. To be fair, there isn't a sure sign that there's life on any one of those According to that same New York Times article, even the simplest bacterium is, at a molecular level, staggeringly complex. Since we have found no hint of the principle of what drives the building blocks of life, it's difficult to find where to start. There are many theories as to how life formed, but so far none is more viable than another. Some scientists try to look for clues on Earth by looking for microbes that are so biochemically different that they could be descended from a different origin, implying that life began from scratch more than once on our own planet. Despite all these ideas and research, no statistical evidence can be drawn from a sample of one, with the sample of one being us, Earth. So for now, we are stuck. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't believe in extraterrestrial life. One thing that you have to consider is our current lack of knowledge. That New York Times article that mentioned that there could be as many as 40 billion hospitable planets was only published in 2013. At the time, that fueled the speculation, popular among even the most distinguished scientists, that the universe is teeming with life. There are discoveries constantly being made that bring us closer and closer to finding life. Currently, the Hubble Space Telescope is our best source for finding new stars. The James Webb Space Telescope, or the JWS, that is planned to be the successor to the Hubble, will provide improved infrared resolution and sensitivity over the Hubble, and will enable a broad range of investigations across the fields of astronomy and cosmology, including observing some of the most distant events and objects in the universe. Now, besides all the facts I've given you and all the progress we made in narrowing down the size of our universe, there's another more primal reason that we may find life. That reason is mankind's fascination with space. Since probably before recorded history began, man has always looked up at the night sky with wonder and awe. There's a certain draw to the mysteries of space, and the curiosity is like a thirst that can't be quenched. When you think about it, we've never even needed to go into space or land on the moon. We have always been just fine on the ground on Earth. Yet philosophers and astronomers from civilizations as early as ancient Greece have long theorized what is beyond. The moon landing of 1969 brought our country together and has inspired the imagination of millions of people such as myself. With that wonder about space comes a wonder about life outside of our planet. Since the 20th century, scientists have been sending out radio waves into space in hope that some sentient being may respond. When a radio wave hits Earth, it is analyzed extensively for clues that it might be from such a being. I even read recently on the official NASA website that NASA has beamed the Beatles song Across the Universe into space, or literally across the universe, in hope that the transmission might be picked up. According to an article on BBC.com, scientists are being urged to seek contact with aliens as recently as 2015. Besides radio waves, scientists are searching for life in and beyond our solar system using telescopes and drones. Some scientists are even dubbed planet hunters for their extensive searches for habitable planets, with traces of life in the atmosphere and makeup. So, overall, while extraterrestrial life hasn't been found, it is my belief that there is life out there, even if it's just microorganisms. As you've seen, I'm not some conspiracy theorist. I may be a bit of a dreamer, but as I've shown you, there are many scientists